What's going on, YouTube? You're back with Shades, and we're gonna continue our Let's Play of Katawa Shoujo. Hold on, let me zoom in the camera a little bit. There we go. Also, I might be a little drowsy. I just had lunch. It was a big lunch. Spaghetti. It was delicious. But it was a big lunch, and I might be a little drowsy, but I'm gonna enjoy this story, and then I'm gonna play a little bit of Phoenix right after this. Okay. So last time we left off, we decided to, Rin decided that she needs to destroy herself metaphorically in order to progress as an artist. So she started to ask Sai for cigarettes and proceeded to smoke. It was weird, but what I saw her for was yes, smoking is bad, but it is and then he said, I was like, maybe you're burned out, you need to take a break, and I said yes. More often than not, when an artist is burned out, it's more often they're overworked and their mind is way too tense. So they need to break and come back when they're fully ready. So anyway, let's continue it, shall we? Night has fallen upon the town. It's a gentle summer night, smelling of flowers and hot asphalt. The sunlight is replaced by shining neon colors and bland yellow street lights. The air is easy to breathe, as if the air pressure was noticeably lighter than usual. The feeling of daytime in the hot summer has lasted long into the evening and night. I grab Rin by her sleeve as I've seen Emmy do, and to my surprise, she obediently follows. The pale streetlights fight against the all-enveloping darkness as we walk together, the guide and the guided, although neither knows the destination. It doesn't matter. This is the one moment where the usual silences that have become a ritual between me and Rin at last fit perfectly. We walk side by side, choosing directions on impulse or inspiration. Sometimes we find ourselves at a street we'd already seen once or twice. Sometimes we find new streets. All of them look asleep. Rin doesn't ask where we're going. Maybe she doesn't care. Maybe she knows I don't have an answer. The silence of the night isn't scary after all. The lights drive most of it away. The air grows cooler as the moon progresses along its journey in the cloudless sky. Few cars roam the street at this hour, and even fewer people are on the sidewalk. The apparent lack of nocturnal life is somehow befitting of this place. There are around-the-clock stops and cafes. But the atmosphere is like the town itself is slumbering. A town that sleeps 8 hours a day. The city I grew up in, bathed in electric glow of a million light bulbs, never slept. I've seen it for myself. It's not the first time I've done this. It happened one of the first times I was home alone. Both of my parents had business trips that neither could cancel, so they deemed me old enough to survive 2 days on my own. Their misplaced trust in me did not go to waste, as I proceeded to spend the entire night out walking around the city. Even afterward, I couldn't say what made me stay downtown longer than I intended after school. I didn't feel like going home, so I stayed through the evening and eventually through the entire night. I walked long, concentric circles around a landmark chosen at random. For some reason, the nighttime city felt fascinating, so I walked its streets. At every intersection, it was possible to choose a direction at random because they all lead nowhere. The aimless wandering made me see things differently. I hope it'll do the same for Rin. We stopped to buy some hot coffee and snacks from a vending machine, then locate a bench where we sit down to eat. There's no time in the night of the town, so we spend an unknown amount of it just sitting there, observing the stillness of the usually vivid townscape. It's still getting very late, and soon it'll be getting very early. So is this it? Hearing Rin's voice surprises me. She doesn't sound bored, rather her tone is inquisitive, uncertain as to why I dragged her out here, yet curious to find out the answer. Yeah, have you ever been out all night? It's like a different world. The remark sends her thinking for a while, looking around as if she was looking for something. The wisps of light reflecting from the corners of her eyes are suddenly very sharp. It's not a different world, it's the same, just asleep. What do you think of the town is dreaming of? Maybe like car sheep or building sheep. Why are dreams always about sheep? I've never seen a sheep-related dream that I can remember. Do different towns dream of different things? Probably. How could they not? I answer half joking, half spurring her on. For the first time tonight, it seems like a bit of Rin's life has returned to her. She doesn't continue her list of rhetorical questions, though. Instead, she leans back a little and looks up at the moon traveling above the town. The cool breeze begins blowing between the buildings and seems to steal the conversation away before it even really begins. It's too bad. It looked like Rin would get out of her blue mood. I wish I could somehow know the right thing to say, but I realize I can't do that the way I am now. I'm far apart from Rin. I haven't really managed to crack her open. She's just too complicated. It's like she's open to everything, equally disinterested in everything from the outset. In truth, she's locked tighter than anyone else I know, even myself. Sometimes she locks herself inside the inner world, and shutting everything else out. At other times, her thoughts flow freely from her mind, but not organized in any fashion that would make them intelligible to the rest of the world. What comes out in the form of paintings, I can't interpret. To me, it's just a sea of colors and shapes, not a message. She's too far away. I now know it was a bad idea to try to reach her in the way I did, but I can't help liking her. I look at the fingers of my right hand, trying to remember what Rin's lips felt like against them. Do you ever feel like you're trying to reach out for something that's impossible to reach? Rin turns her gaze toward me, tilting her head quizzically. I wonder if she understands the meaning of my own rhetorical question or not. Either way, I like how I can manage to catch her attention just by speaking aloud nowadays. All the time. At least I think so. That's what painting feels like. A lot of the time, or all the time. I don't know. Sometimes I get the feeling that I can really paint what I want. Sometimes it feels like it's just another shadow of me, like a mirror that doesn't work right. Like talking? Maybe. When I was little, I didn't really have any friends. Maybe it's the same now. The only thing I liked were pens and paints. They were the only things that understood me. Now it feels like that's going away too. Change really is a scary thing. Truth. I wish I could understand you. She looks at me melancholically, rousing my thoughts, materializing as words spoken aloud. Me too. Whether she meant she wished for me to understand her, or her to understand me, or her to understand herself, I never ask, nor do I find out. I see her eyes searching for mine, serious and cryptic as they are. I'm not getting an explanation from there. Don't worry about it. I will. Small hints of a smile are wavering on her lips. When she's like this, it makes me feel like that maybe there's hope for us. We get along so well for being so different. It's just that we never really get along precisely because we are so different. Maybe it was Rin's passionate approach from her own art exhibit, or perhaps about careless words. But the last week was different from usual. A small friction between us seems to be somewhat volatile, but at least now we seem to be back to normal, relatively speaking. We stand from the bench and pick yet another direction in which to go. The wee hours of night slowly pass by as we measure the streets of the town, one step at a time. We are finally at ease, not minding the rare, lone passerby, the eerie darkness, each other, ourselves. Rin's step seems lighter, like the heavy air around her is letting go a little. It makes me feel happy. We don't talk, save for the single remarks that are spoken to the night of the town and never answered. The details jump into the eye instead of being the usual blur they are during the day. As the sky above the town changes from a deep dark blue-gray, I know that our night is soon ending. It's almost morning. Rin looks up too and nods at me. It's true. The coming light of morning is creeping through the sky, climbing higher by the minute. It feels surreal. The sun won't come up for a while, but I get a feeling that the end of this night is really here and now. Should we head back? Rin nods again, twice, her hair waving in the breeze that seems to be heralding the coming dawn. Abruptly she takes off, taking lead in this walk about on which I brought her. It seems that she really is in a better mood. This, too, makes me feel happy. Rin's navigational skills are probably not much better than mine, but we eventually find ourselves in front of Sae's place. I don't know if this was any help. I did this once before, but it was more because of a stupid impulse or maybe restlessness back then. Maybe it was a silly idea and didn't really help you at all. She nods as an answer. So, do you know how you're going to destroy yourself now? I have some ideas. I don't want to see you for a while. Don't come and see me. Do something else. Her ultimatum catches me completely off guard. What the hell? What's that about? You just said before you didn't mind. I mind now, just for a little while. I have to do this alone. I don't like that. Why? I don't want it to go like this. Why? I just don't want to feel the distance between you and me. She tilts her head like a bird, her eyes narrowing a little as she thinks. Then you can touch me. What? You can touch me if you want. You'd feel better, right? I don't know. Try. Where do you want me to touch you? No boobs are left here, other than that you can decide. I thought of awful things. Fine. I raise my head hesitantly, even though I don't really know why I'm actually doing this. Her eyes tell me that she's not going to explain. 1,000 thoughts race through my head as I slowly bring my hand close to Rin's face and press 3 fingers against her pale cheek. Rin feels soft and cold. She closes her eyes in contact and visibly relaxes. I feel her soft breathing, her muscles releasing tension as my fingers caress her cheek. She doesn't rest her head against my palm or anything else you'd expect a girl to do in this sort of situation. In fact, she hasn't reacted at all, save for those now shut eyes. I once withdraw my hand and she opens them again. It might be just an illusion created by the timid morning sunlight playing with my eyes, but Rin looks like she's holding back a smile. This is the problem with our relationship. Half the time I have no idea what's going on, and the other half I just fail to understand why things are going the way they are. As usual, I'm not going to get an explanation. Rin merely takes a step towards the door. See you later. She disappears from my reach for an undefined period of time. Aw. But the thing is, I get it. But probably because I'm an artist. Sometimes you gotta do things on your own. Like, input from other people just clouds your mind. I held true to my promise of honoring Rin's request, even if it's against my own will. I try to redirect my focus into my studies, but end up zoning out during class and only the minimum amount of work required. I start looking into my post-high school options a bit more seriously. I pore over university brochures and various career paths. I'm good at studying, so I want to go to a university. I'm pretty sure you can get into a pretty decent one too. The only problem is deciding which subject would be best. Kenji ridicules me about subjecting myself to the control of the feminist teachers when I tell him I'm trying to get into a university. I don't ask him what he wants to do in the future. Kenji just needs to die. He needs to not exist. I wonder what Rin thinks of her own future. I bet she's not as lost as I am, and if she is, it's probably in a completely different way. I feel somewhat disappointed in finding out that I can't stop thinking about her. Her request makes me worry about her and think about her more than I did when I could go and see her when I wanted. It bothers me that I can't. Aww. As expected, I eventually crack. Late one afternoon, I get on a bus heading downtown. I try to avoid explaining myself why exactly I'm doing this, and I keep thinking about other things for the entire duration of the trip. After a 5-minute walk, I'm standing in front of the gallery. I walk past to the door of the atelier, but in this last moment I lose my courage and continue on all the way to the next corner, at which point I turn back. Will Rin hate me if I go and see her? I wonder what she's like when she's angry. I've never seen her angry. I don't think I'd like her angry. The worst thing would be that if I actually ruined something by going to see her, like she's simply going to imply what happened. But no way that could be true, can there? It's just one of her quirks. I walk back down the street and end up passing the Elgaria door for the second time. Only this time, as I continue all the way down to where the gallery, its owner is just standing outside the door watching me. I thought it was you. What are you doing? I really don't want to explain the circumstances between Rin and me, so I get flustered and end up mumbling something unclear. Penguins. She takes stock of me and then sighs deeply, looking wryly amused somehow. I hope she didn't misunderstand. Would you like to come in? Your teacher's visiting. We were discussing Rin's exhibition. Thanks for the invite, but I really should. Don't be shy now, come on in. But you smoke cigarettes! I like that's a reason to hate someone. Oh, but you smoke! I follow Sae inside, finding that our art teacher indeed is there. Nomiya is standing at the big desk, contemplating what looks like an invitation card. Look what the cat dragged in. The Kai! Hello there, my boy! He doesn't seem to be at all fazed by my appearance. How do you like the invitations? I glance at them quickly. They're kind of fancy, with one of Rin's paintings printed on the front cover and shiny gold writing. I don't know what that says. They look fine to me. They're magnificent. Oops. They're magnificent! I absolutely love the design. And the embossed gold glittering? Fabulous! Fab. Good print work, too. You have to tell me where you get these done. What does Rin think? I haven't asked. She said she'd be fine with my decision anyway. Nomiya laughs boisterously, still turning the gold-lettered card in his hands. That's my girl! She wants to focus on the essentials only. Good for her. Her work is progressing well, too. It seems she's found new inspiration. I think she's been sort of weird lately. It's like she's wrestling with something, probably herself, and it makes her confused. She said she had a hard time painting the last time I saw her. It seems to be resolved now, however. You know, she practically lives up there now, right? Sae makes a simple gesture with her hand as if sweeping my question aside. Sure. Don't you think that's weird? Maybe it is. Still, I think she understands how big an opportunity is and is going for it full throttle. Is it really that big? Dude, you idiot! Yes, it's big! It's an art gallery for just her. You fucking moron. Okay, he sounds just being dumb at this point. Cause like he's like, I just want to see her. Why can't I see her? Why won't you let me see her? You're being entirely selfish. I remember like in the previous route, sometimes I was like, the girl's being selfish. Cause like with Emmy, it was like she doesn't want to talk about her past because it hurts. So that's basically the only reason she doesn't want to close the gap between her and Hisao. And then with Shizune, it was like, I just care about the club. And then like she was being really forceful. And then like with who's best girl? Oh my god. Who was the blind one? Oh god, I can't remember her name. Oh my god, I can't remember her name. What's her name? I had to look this up because I can't remember right now. My mind is too tense. Lily, there it is. Jesus Christ. But yeah, like literally every other girl was like selfish at some point. Well, in Lily's right, Hisao was a bit more selfish because he was dumb. But this one, he's just being flat out stupid. He's like, I just want to see her. I don't care what she's doing. I want to see her. I'm just like, dude, she's working on something important. Leave her alone. She needs the space. Fucking fucker. Namiya sets the car down and brushes some imaginary dust off his jacket. Well, how should I put it? There are times in everyone's lives where something really big washes over you and changes you forever. This could be the moment for Tezuka. I see. Yeah, I think I've had something like that happen to me. I'm referring to the incident that brought me to Ryumaku. Neither of the two adults comments on this, however. It might well be that everyone has, or will, at any rate. Surrendering oneself to art is a big decision, and a thorny path too. Quite thorny indeed. Tezuka has most everything one needs, but whether or not she has the will to put it through, that's a different question. I know I should know that best. I tried going down this path too, but turned away at the end. I don't understand what he's trying to say. So apparently the answer is, why'd you turn away from being an artist? Why did you stop exactly? You've mentioned that before. Oh, that's a long story. Namiya throws a sideways glance at the gallery owner, who has drawn her mouth into a thin, straight line. I've had life experience seeing change like that, even though I didn't realize it until later. Did I tell you that Sai and I have known each other for a long time? We studied at the same school. It's been... Goodness, how long has it really been? Please don't count the years, Shinichi. Maybe you're right. At any rate, we were in school. We had this, friend, I should say. We were in the same program, and I didn't think he met Sai at some party. Got to know Sai through him, in fact. He was a spectacular artist, much like Tezuka. Great talent despite the young age. He easily left the rest of us in the dust. We were good friends, but there was things that created friction in the friendship. I felt like I was watching him from afar. You weren't the only one. Nomiya coughs, looking embarrassed. At any rate, he ended up taking his own life. Such a tragedy. In retrospect, that was what made me choose as a career as a teacher in the end. I never was that brilliant, nor that passionate. I desperately wanted to be a career artist, but I wasn't suited for that. You were good enough. Haha, perhaps I would have been. Haha, perhaps I would have been. But this is what I ended up with. I just didn't have the drive after he was gone. I'm fond of kids and enjoy all forms of art, so I felt rather natural to take this path in life. But I think all that history with that friend of ours was the key thing. As sad as it was, a turning point, as they say. Sai stands up and digs in the pocket of her jacket for a cigarette and a lighter. Her hands are shaking. I'm going out for a smoke. Wordlessly, Nomiya and I decide to follow her after a moment. It's already dark outside. Sai is standing with her back to us, taking sharp occasional drags on her cigarette. Its weak amber glow illuminates her face, framing her sharp jawline. Come back here and punch me in that perfect jawline! Maybe it's best to call it a night. I can give you a lift back to school if you want, Nakai. You're not going anywhere, Shinichi. I need a drink. We're gonna get to that place at the corner. Teacher looks at the old lady, then shrugs at me apologetically. It's no problem. I'll catch the bus back. I'm heading upstairs to see if Rin will come back to school with me anyway. I think she's been staying overnight here too often lately. Sai locks the front door of the gallery and links arms with the old art teacher. I feel strange looking at them. I wonder what it feels like to have your friends who've been with you for decades, for most of your life. I can't imagine it. Two of them start making their way down. They both start making their way downtown, walking fast, faces fast, and I'm homebound. Oh my god, that song also fits what's happening in the game. And now I wonder if I could fall into the sky. Do you think time could pass me by? Do you know I'd walk 1,000 miles if I could just see you tonight? The weather around the corner. So I quickly head upstairs to the 2-yard door, ready to get what I originally came here for. Oh, you're gonna get it, alright. I hope not. Because, I don't want to have to end on a sex scene. Because I have to watch that myself. I climb upstairs and enter carefully. The room is dark because of the quickly falling night, but I can see Rin, or rather her silhouette, sitting on the floor. She's got her inspiration back, like Saya said, and moved from easel to painting on the floor. Before I manage 5 steps, I stop, frozen in my tracks. The odd realization that human cognitive abilities commendable echoes through my mind. From a mere movement of a shadow, it took me a fraction of a second to realize something is awry, process what I'm seeing, formulate the answer, and blush all at the same way up to the tips of my ears. Rin is sitting on the floor with her legs under her. Okay, I think I know what's happening here. So, for those of you who know what's happening, I think I know what's happening. I think you know what's happening. I can't say it because YouTube's gonna flag me, but I'm gonna keep going ahead, and if it's dirty, the part ends here. And if it's not, I will probably have some cuts. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos from me from this series, hit the subscribe button. And to the Exiting Shadyverse, my name's Shade, and I'll be right back if it's not as dirty as I think it is.